This video is all about Christian Light Education publishers for language arts. Do you have a child who has a difficulty to start reading? Do you have a child who knows all the sounds and letters but cannot read? This is the curriculum that helped my daughter dramatically. She already knew her sounds and letters, but she couldn't start reading. Once we started this curriculum, she slowly started to read on her own. Why do I like this curriculum the best? Because I like how it methodically teaches your child to read. After going through this curriculum and even during the process of going through it, child has a aha moment because she or he suddenly realizes, I am reading. I know how to read. That's why this curriculum is so good for children who need encouragement. They can do this on their own. So let me talk to you about Learning to Read curriculum and Language Arts curriculum. So here where you can find this curriculum, if you go on a website of Christian Light Education and go to the menu of curriculum, you will find this course under the Grade 1 menu. So let me talk a little bit about who is Christian Light Education Publishers. Obviously their curriculum is Christian. If you are secular, you might still use this curriculum, but keep in mind that throughout units, you will find sentences that are based on theology. Christian Light Publishers have all subject curriculums if you're also interested in that. But in this video, we will specifically talk about language art or how to learn to read. Learning to read and language arts are phonics-based curriculum. They teach you letters, sounds, word recognition, and how to put this all together and start reading. Language arts teaches grammar, punctuation, communication skills, writing, spelling, and even penmanship. It's all included. You can just buy this one curriculum and you don't need to worry about anything else, which I really like because it saves me time and I don't have to research about separately how to teach grammar, punctuation, or writing. What else I like about this program that is so easy to teach, it's very simple, and most importantly, it's very easy to use by child. Also, I really love that all material taught in a very logical, systematic way. If you're like me who like language art to be taught in logical and orderly manner, this curriculum is for you. The other good bonus of this curriculum is it's super affordable. For example, the whole language art course costs $37 plus $19 for teacher's guide and plus electives, but you don't have to buy them, they are optional. So this is priced for the whole year. Next feature of this course is the mastery approach. Concepts are taught in a small portion and they keep repeating throughout the whole unit. Going through the material in such little portions give your child assurance that he is accomplishing things, that he is learning and he putting it into practice. So first I want to talk about Learning to Read. Learning to Read course has 2 teacher's guides, which are essential for this course. You cannot skip these 2 books. Also, you have to buy 10 units. You can do 1 unit a month, and that's a good pace for your child. Learning to Read is a parent-led curriculum because you have to teach your child and you have to lead them through learning of sounds, learning of letters, etc. And you have to read them also from teacher's guide. Also, for Learning to Read, you will have to buy these reading books, which has a very cute pictures and very cute stories. In each of these books, the level of reading is slowly increasing. Now let's talk a little bit about language arts. All of my children doing Christian Light Education for language art. Once I picked it, I was satisfied with the language taught and how my kids learning. My youngest one started with learning to read, and after she finished, she started reading classical books straightforward. It was an amazing experience. So language arts also has teacher's guide. Now I really recommend to buy teacher's guides for your older children because then they can check their work by themselves. And if your child loves to work individually and love their independence, that's a great opportunity for you to have extra time on your hands. So language arts curriculums also have 10 units in each grade. And what I like about it, you can give your child just 1 unit and it's not overwhelming at all for them. And once they're accomplished and finished 1 unit, there is something good about starting something new. Additionally, you can purchase laminated cards with language art facts, and it's a good help for children if they want to have a quick reference for some sort of rules in language or to remind themselves what they learned before. So here I have dividing syllables, suffixes, capitalization, plural nouns, state abbreviation, and province abbreviation. Also available all kinds of different cards. There is word cards, there is sight word cards, sounds, letters, picture letters. You can all purchase it on their Christian Light publication website. It's all available and it's not too expensive. So let me summarize for you what I've already said, give you my conclusion. So for learning to read, this is a teacher-led program. Language art are teacher-free. If your child enjoys to work by herself or himself and it builds up his independence, she or he will really love this course. This is not Charlotte Mason-based approach. This is workbook approach. Your child will be required to underline, to follow instructions, and basically do what the unit tells them to do. Units are very simply made. They're not colorful. They are only 2 colors, which is good for children who are visual because too many colors can be very destructive for them. So in this, if your child is visual, I recommend this curriculum. And if he's easily distracted, this would be good fit for him. So this is open and go approach curriculum. Yeah, so if you prefer this method, this curriculum would be great for you. Now, this course also not based on literature. So if you want your child to have literature education, you have to buy separate course. This is the only thing that's not included. Also, if this might help you, this course is very similar to Alpha and Omega publishers. Now let me turn my camera and show you inside of the teacher's guides, units, and these little books. Learning to Read has 2 teacher's guides. So 5 units in this book and the rest of the 5 units is in this one. This is what's included. Complete instruction how to use the curriculum, outline of the sounds that you're gonna learn, daily schedule that you can use, and then the lessons. First you get overview and what you will need for this lesson. Then you will have to introduce the sounds to your child, words that you can use to teach this specific sound. In the rectangles on each page you will find answers to units. Almost in every lesson there is a funny story about Mr. Smiley. So this is the answers to units, etc. And also I like the recommendations on how to check your child's progress. So in lesson 2 you will start learning about sounds, and there is a story that you will have to read to your child that correlates to that sound. For your information, you also can buy colorful cards with each sound. That's pretty much how the teacher's guides are made. Same way is the second book. Slowly it gets more complex. There's extra activities also that you can use, which are very interesting and entertaining. There's also letters included, 2 cutouts, some other cutouts, etc. Now, here's the little books that your child will go through. Stories included in these booklets are very kind and teaches your child to respect your parents and be a good child. I really love these stories. So this is how easy the first book goes. And child is so encouraged because she can read a book. Imagine you give a book to a child and she can read it or he can read it. That's how this curriculum built, and I really love this aspect of this curriculum. So this is probably the last book. So you can see they're getting more complicated. Yeah, this is the second one. Somewhat easier. Beautiful and cute pictures and stories. Each one cost only $5 on the website. I also purchased this word flashcards. It's kind of like a sight word, like this. While you're learning some of these words, you can put them on your whiteboard or whatever you're using, pinboard, and your child can look at them and learn to recognize them in the text. So that's how much included. So this is the laminated cards I was showing you before. This is the language art. I'll show you language art for 4th grade. How my child uses is this teacher's guide. So they fill in their units and after that they check themselves because it's very easy to check. This is answers. So let me show you inside of the units. This is units for language art grade 2. Content for this unit includes language, what is a language, how we use words, how we talk, so communicative skills, name your words or nouns, sentences, capital letters. All the lessons are similarly structured. Whatever is in red is the main topic of the day, of the lesson. Exercises are very short, which not too overwhelming. Phonics, penmanship. In each unit, after unit is done, children have a test for this specific unit. Also during this unit, children required to accomplish 2 or 3 quizzes or extra activities. So quiz is usually 2 pages. There is some spelling words also in the end of the unit. Section 1, 2, 3. So this is how many words student learns during one unit. You can cut them out and laminate. Now let me show you units for learning to read curriculum. I'll show you first one and the last one so you can see how learning progresses. First one is super easy and simple. Your child learning sounds. So you will have to read your child whatever they have to accomplish from the teacher's guide, and then child accomplish the task. They'll have to trace, they will have to find the difference, learning to recognize and differentiate. They also will try to learn to follow the direction and how to use their hand to do writing. Also there is letter tracing and letter practicing. Lesson 3, they learning about sound, and then they accomplish simple tasks. That's how it's done. Very simple and very interesting. So this is a sight words that you will have to learn that day. Now, last unit for this learning to read curriculum is looking like this. So they learn about digraph blends, compound words, suffix, ed, entity, as, the z, etc., int, and sounding, and then reviewing the tests again. So it's a little bit more complicated than the first unit. These words they learn, they just have to read to you. And these words they have to remember and recognize them in a text. So my daughter was reading this no problem after accomplishing this course. And right away she just jumped into reading classical books. I was so amazed. The first book she read was Black Beauty. Can you imagine? And she just read it by herself, and it was so neat to see. That's why I highly recommend this for your child. So that's it for my review of this curriculum. My children are loving this curriculum, even though it's workbook based. But for language art, for math, I think workbooks and logical, systematical study is the best. This is my personal opinion. Maybe we differ on that, but I encourage you to look into it if your child might love and learn in this way. So thank you so much for watching, and please leave me a comment if you have any questions or any requests for curriculum review, because I have some good curriculums around to show you. And I hope you really enjoy this video, and subscribe if you're curious about homeschooling.